One of the best ways to improve your English is by listening to stories. When you listen to stories, your brain naturally learns new words, phrases, and grammar without any stress. It's like learning without even trying. If you enjoy this story, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for daily stories just like this one. Ethan had always been curious about cities far from home. He dreamed about walking in places where the culture, sounds, and smells were completely different. Tokyo was one of those cities. It was huge, bright, and full of energy. But Ethan wanted to see Tokyo in a way many tourists never do, quietly, slowly, and with attention to small details. One afternoon, Ethan woke up to the sound of rain. The sky was gray and heavy, but he felt excited. Rain in Tokyo was different from rain in his hometown. It wasn't just water falling from the sky. It was a mood, a feeling. Ethan put on his light raincoat, grabbed his umbrella, and stepped outside. The streets were already wet from the rain that had started earlier. Puddles reflected the neon signs and the shapes of people rushing by. At first, Ethan walked slowly, listening to the soft tapping of raindrops on his umbrella. The smell of wet asphalt mixed with the fresh scent of leaves made him feel calm. The city looked different in the rain. Bright lights softened, and shadows played gently on the sidewalks. Ethan noticed how every color became deeper and more vibrant. He passed a small bookstore where the window was steamed up. Inside, a few people browsed quietly. Books filled the shelves like treasures waiting to be discovered. Ethan wanted to enter, but he kept walking. Something pulled him forward. A feeling of adventure, of discovery. As he walked, he saw a group of school children running with their colorful umbrellas. Their laughter echoed through the street, brightening the gray day. Ethan smiled to himself. Even in the rain, life in Tokyo was full of joy. He turned into a narrow alley lined with old shops and tiny restaurants. The rain made the wooden walls shine, and small lanterns hanging above the doors flickered softly. The alley smelled of soy sauce, fresh vegetables, and grilled fish. Ethan's stomach rumbled. The rain had made him hungry. Near the end of the alley, Ethan spotted a small cafe with a blue door. It looked warm and inviting, like a secret shelter from the rain. He stepped inside and was greeted by the smell of fresh coffee and sweet pastries. The air was warm and cozy. Ethan sat by the window and watched the rain outside. People passed by quickly, holding umbrellas or wearing raincoats. Some stopped to look at shop windows, others hurried to catch the next train. Ethan took a sip of his coffee. It was strong and bitter but comforting. He thought about how different this moment was from the noisy, busy places he had seen earlier. Here, everything was calm and gentle. After finishing his coffee, Ethan stepped back into the rain. The sky was still gray, but the rain had slowed to a light drizzle. He decided to visit a nearby shrine he had read about, a small, quiet place hidden between tall buildings. As he walked, he noticed how the rain had changed the city's sounds. The usual loud traffic was muffled. The water flowing through the gutters created a soft, constant rhythm. The shrine was peaceful. A small wooden gate marked the entrance, and the garden inside was wet and green. Ethan took a deep breath. The air smelled fresh, and the soft sound of water dripping from the trees was relaxing. He sat on a stone bench and closed his eyes for a moment. When he opened them, he saw an elderly woman carefully cleaning the lanterns. She smiled gently and nodded at him. Ethan felt connected to this quiet moment. The rain had brought him here, to a place where time seemed to slow down. He stayed for a while, watching raindrops fall on the leaves, listening to birds calling softly. As he left the shrine, Ethan felt a strange happiness inside, a feeling of calm mixed with excitement. The rain began to stop, and the sky slowly brightened. He walked toward the river, where he saw reflections of the city in the water. The neon lights were dimmer now, but the sky was clearer. Ethan stood by the railing, looking at the smooth surface of the river and the distant city lights. He felt grateful for this day, for the rain, the quiet moments, and the chance to see Tokyo in a new light. This story is full of useful English grammar and vocabulary that you learned just by listening. This is the power of stories. Learning becomes natural, fun, and effortless. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We have new stories every day to help you improve your English. Write a comment below about a time you felt a special moment while walking in a city or during the rain. I'd love to hear your story. See you tomorrow.